So, dito na tayo sa cash flow activities. So, again, meron tayong tatlong cash flow activities. We have operating activities, investing activities, financing activities. Sa operating activities, these are the main revenue producing activities of the entity that are not investing or financing activities. So again, these cash transactions mainly focus on the operation. So yun nga, yung main revenue producing activities. Okay, so isipin mo na lang yung mga connected transactions pagdating sa operations. For example, mga expenses, mga income transactions na take note, may involved na cash. Okay, so malamang babagsak yon under operating activities. Okay? Even yung mga transactions affecting the current assets and current liabilities of the company. Okay? Kasi um, that is normally part ng day-to-day operation ng business, no? Okay? So kung ano examples niyan, maya-maya onte. Next sa investing activities, ito naman ay connected sa acquisition and disposal of long-term assets and other investment. Okay? So basically mga investments, kung hindi man investments, mga non-current assets. Okay? Acquisition man yan or disposal. Kung ano yung mga specific example, maya-maya onte. Ang financing activities, okay, these are activities na connected naman pagdating sa provision ng capital. Whether galing yan sa pangungutang or galing yan sa mismong may-ari. Okay? And of course, vice versa, okay, kung may capital na galing sa kanila, okay, paano naman yung pag binalik na sa kanila? So, payment of long-term debt, di ba? Basically, dividends, no, to owners. So, yun. Yun yung mga financing activities. Now, eto na. So, for operating activities, you have cash inflows like cash receipts from rendering services or sale of goods, cash receipts from other income tulad ng rent, royalties, commission, interest, dividend. Okay? Cash receipts, okay, from selling the trading securities. Okay? Trading securities. Okay? Yung investment na kung saan ang purpose is for trading purposes. Diba? Cash refund just in case, no, related sa taxes. Okay? Unless otherwise, that refund of tax can be specifically identified with financing and investing activities. Pero in common, operating kasi yung related sa taxes, no? Okay? Cash outflows. So we have cash payment to suppliers for services and goods, cash payment of interest expense, and other operating expenses. Cash payment to and on behalf of employees. Okay, kung may mga advances, na binigay sa employees at kung naka-receive ng payment, no, kapag binayaran na ng employees yung advances niya. And at the same time, of course, cash payment of income taxes. Again, unless otherwise, it can be specifically identified in financing or investing activities. Okay? Example of investing activities naman, okay, so related to sa long-term assets and investment. Okay? Other than trading securities. Okay? Bumili nun or nagbenta nun. Okay? So, yun nga, meron tayong cash receipts from sale of property, plant, and equipment, cash receipts from sale of intangible asset, cash receipts from sale of investment, either debt or equity securities, other than trading securities, including also cash receipts from payments of advance or loans made to other parties. Parang investment ang datingan nito kasi nagpautang ka eh. Tama? Tapos later on, nagbayad na yon kung sino man pinautang mo. So, cash receipts dito. Pero take note, pinapautang mo yan, okay, sa mga other parties. Okay? Hindi mo talaga business ang magpautang. Okay? Kumbaga, basta meron ka lang pinautang. Okay? So, in effect, parang investing yon. Bakit? Siyempre, kapag magpautang ka, di ka naman papayag na walang patong na interest yon. Take note, this is investing activities in effect. Okay? So, parang may investment ka through that extending, no, loan to someone, okay, to other parties. Okay? Pero ibang usapan kapag nature talaga ng business mo is maging or magkaroon ng gano'ng transaction. Okay? So, malamang bangko ka or financial institution na nagpapautang talaga. If that's the case, hindi yun matuturing na investing activities. Kasi talagang operation mo yun, ang magpautang. Okay? So, investing activities lang kung nagpapautang ka pero hindi mo naman talaga nature ang magpautang. Okay? Pero kapag nature mo magpautang, tulad ng bangko, okay? So, magiging part yun ng operating activities. So, vice versa lang, okay? Kapag bumili ka ng PPE, bumili ka ng intangible assets, bumili ka ng investment, okay? At nagbigay ka ng advance or loans nga to other parties, okay? Investing activities yun. Okay? So, take note of that. Okay? Just familiarize yung mga example cash transaction. Okay, again, no? Usapang cash transactions lahat to. Next, examples of financing activities. So we have as cash inflows, cash receipts from issuance of shares, ordinary man yan or preference. Cash proceeds from borrowings. So nangutang ka sa bangko, no? Short-term or long-term man yan. At the same time, financial activities din pero as outflows kapag bumili ka ng treasury shares, okay? Or binayaran mo yung utang mo sa bangko or other financial institution, short term or long term. Okay? And at the same time, pag nagbayad ka ng dividend sa mga owner or sa mga stockholders. Okay po? Okay, so dito naman tayo sa mga pointers. Now, according to PAS 7, ang cash flows daw, okay, related dun sa pagbili or pagbenta ng trading securities, di ba? One of the types of investments, okay, classified as operating activities. Kasi in effect buy and sell 'yan eh. Tama ba? So parang inventory ang datingan niya. So therefore operating activities 'yon. Okay? Another thing, sabi dito, according to PAS 7 also, ang interest payment and interest receipt, okay, shall be classified as operating cash flows. Okay? Yun yung normal approach. Pero as an alternative approach, pwede naman na yung payment ng interest, okay, sabi dito, ay maklasify as financing. Okay, payment of interest as financing. Kasi nga, if you will notice, kaya ka may binabayarang interest kasi previously nangutang ka from the bank, di ba? Or other financial institution. Okay, that's why pwede siyang financing, yung interest payment. While collection of interest may be classified as investing. So, kabaliktaran naman this time. Investing yung interest kasi nga this time ikaw naman yung nag-invest eh. Tama? For example, nag-invest ka through debt securities. So, in substance, nagpautang ka. Tama? So, out of your pautang, may marireceive kang interest later on. Tawag mo doon interest income. Pag nakolekta, okay, interest receipt. Tama po ba? So, kaya sinabing pwede siyang alternatively investing activities. Pero, take note, usually, operating yan. Next, according to PAS 7, dividends received shall be classified as operating cash flow. Okay? But alternatively, may be classified as investing. Okay? So, kung kanina, investment in debt securities, in terms of interest, di ba? Interest receipt. This time, dividends receipt, okay? May kinalaman pa rin sa investment. Pero this time, okay, since dividends yan ay investment mo sa equity securities. Okay? So, kaya na nasabi natin na pwede rin yung dividends received as alternative investing. Pero normally, operating. Next, according to PAS 7 also, dividends payment shall be classified as financing cash flows. Okay, financing cash flows pag dividends payment. Okay, kasi nga, ikaw yung this time naka-receive, okay, ng capital from investor. Okay? But alternatively, may be classified as operating. Okay? So, tatandaan nyo itong mga alternative approach, no? Madalas din yan na itatanong. Okay? Next, itong cash flows from the acquisition and disposal of subsidiaries and other business units. Okay, that result in loss or gain of control are classified as investing activities. So, pag may binili ka, okay, na business, for example. Okay? Um, Naglabas ka ng pera and, ang resulta nun, okay, nagkaroon ka ng control doon sa company na yon. Power to govern that business. Normally, kung percentage of ownership yan, dapat ang nabili mong shares, no, percentage out of the total shares ng company is 51% pataas. Okay, ganun dapat para masabing may control ka. Okay? So, investing activities yun, ha? Now, kung sakaling binenta mo yon, okay, yung investment mo na yon, investment in subsidiary to be specific, okay, at nawala yung control, okay, let's say, bumaba yung percentage of ownership mo from 51%, bumaba, naging 30%, for example. Okay? Tama? So, nawala na yung control mo kasi ang control normally, dapat ang ownership mo doon sa company is 51% hanggang 100%. Okay, so since nagbenta ka, portion of your investment in that subsidiary, okay, nabawasan ka tuloy ng percentage of ownership. So, nag-below 51 ka. Tama? So, kung nag-below 51 ka, nawala yung control. Okay, so yung pagbenta mo na yon, portion of your investment, matuturing ng um, loss of control. Kasi below 51% na nga yung ownership mo eh. Tama? And that scenario or that transaction is considered investing activities. Okay, klaro? Now, sabi dito, transactions that do not lead to a loss or gain of control are classified as financing activities. So, let's say, nung una, nag-acquire ka, no? Nag-invest ka sa certain company at nag-gain ka ng control. Let's say, ang nabili mong ownership, okay, from that company is 70%. Okay? May control ka ba doon? Yes, kasi 51% and above, may control na yon. 70% ang nabili mo. Tama? So, may control ka na. Okay? Naglabas ka ng pera for that. So, that is considered investing activity. Now, later on, portion of uh, investment mo doon sa company na yon, binenta mo nga. Okay? Let's say nagbenta ka ng 15%. Okay? So, from 70%, yung 15% na benta mo, tama? So, ilan yung natira na lang sa yung ownership? 70 minus 15, 55. Tama ba? Okay, so kung 55% yung natitira mong ownership, still, may control ka pa rin doon sa pinag-investan mo. Kasi nga, masasabi natin control kapag 51% and above. Okay? 55% pa rin yung investment mo doon sa company. So still, okay, may control ka pa rin. Okay? So ito yung sinasabi natin that disposal of your investment, no, do not lead to a loss of control. Kasi nga 55% pa rin. Tama? Mas mataas pa rin doon sa 51%. Therefore, that transaction, cash transaction, is considered financing activities. Okay? Next, non-cash investing and financing transactions are excluded from the statements of cash flows. Siguro wala nang tanong dito, no? Basta non-cash transactions yan, hindi yan papasok sa statement of cash flows. Okay? Pero, kailangan mo daw i-disclose. Okay? Kung saan man. Pero normally, dinidisclose yan sa notes to FS. Okay? Kapag may mga significant investing or financing transactions na non-cash. Okay? So examples natin include asset acquisitions via liabilities or leases, equity-based acquisitions, and debt-to-equity conversions. Okay, so asset acquisitions via liabilities, literal, no? Meron kang asset na na-acquire, tama? Pero hindi ka naglabas ng pera sa pamamagitan ng utang. Okay? Equity-based acquisition, of course. Okay, may in-acquire ka, let's say, land, pero ang payment mo instead na cash, shares. Yung sarili mong shares, inisyo mo, kapalit ng land. Okay, walang cash na involved, pero significant yon normally, no? Pag bumibili ka ng land, di ba? And debt to equity conversion, so dating utang pwedeng maging ownership. Okay, dating investment mo sa debt securities pwedeng maging investment in equity securities. Okay, na walang nilalabas na pera. Okay? Klaro tayo dyan. Next, unrealized foreign exchange gains and losses are not cash flows. Okay? That is correct. Okay? Kasi ito yung difference lang ng ano eh, ng conversion, no? Ng foreign currency into peso. Okay? Tama po ba? Wala talagang cash flows na involved doon. But, sabi dito, their impact on cash and cash equivalents is reported to reconcile period end balance. So, for example nga, meron kang cash and cash equivalent sa ibang bansa, di ba? USD. Let's say, 10,000 USD yung cash balance mo doon. Okay? Tama? Pag kinonvert mo yan dito sa Philippine Peso at reporting date, iba na magiging translation nun. Kumpara doon sa conversion ng cash and cash equivalent mo at the time na nagkaroon ng mga transactions before having that balance, no? Na 10,000 USD. So from time to time, 'di ba, nagbabago 'yon. Tapos later on naging 10,000 USD. So, kung i-convert mo in average 'yun, 'di ba? Into peso, malamang hindi 'yan yung equivalent peso amount niya at the reporting date. Okay? So that's why magkakaroon ka ng adjustment diyan. Okay? So, etong line item na to class, makikita mo yan sa statement of cash flows. Next, ang cash flows from operating activities pwedeng ma-report, okay, into two methods. Pwedeng direct method or indirect method. Okay, take note. Sa pag-prepare ng statement of cash flows, dalawang method lang naman eh. Direct method, indirect method. Regardless of the method, of course, dapat parehas yung balance niyan. Okay? Pero kaklaruhin lang natin, ang difference lang naman ng direct method tsaka indirect method ay doon sa operating activities. Okay, tandaan na, sa statement of cash flows, dalawa ang method. Pero dapat parehas pa rin ang cash balance noon. Direct tsaka indirect. Okay? Yung method na yan, applicable lang yan sa operating activities. Okay? Kasi investing activities tsaka financing activities, for both method, parehas na parehas lang. Okay? Parehas na parehas lang. Now, as a guide, okay, doon sa indirect method, okay, this will be the procedures. Okay? Kasi i-adjust mo yung net profit, okay, from accrual basis hanggang maging net profit siya as to cash basis. Okay? So, una, kukunin mo nga yung net profit or loss, okay, doon sa income statement. Okay? Profit after tax. Okay? After tax, kadalasan yan. Next, reverse the effects of non-cash expense and non-cash income. Ito yung nabanggit ko kanina. So, add back, okay, yung non-cash expenses such as depreciation, amortization, depletion, losses from disposal of long-term asset, foreign exchange loss, di ba? Kasi wala namang perang involved dyan eh, basically. Okay? Eh, di ba, dun sa net income, itong mga expense na to, nabawas. Tama? Eh, kung tutuusin, kung dadalhin natin yan as net income under cash basis, okay, dapat hindi nabawas yan. Kasi kung cash basis yan, nababawas lang ang expense kapag may nilabas na pera. Tama? Eh, nabawas. Okay? Under accrual. Kaya ibabalik natin yon. Para lalabas is yung mga na-consider lang as bawas for expenses ay yung may nalabas lang na pera. Okay? Klaro po ba yon? So, vice versa lang. Okay, yung mga non-cash income naman, katulad ng gains from disposal of long-term assets, foreign exchange gain, unrealized gains from trading securities, okay, nadagdag yun. Tama? Eh, wala namang involved na pera yun eh. Tama? Ang objective kasi natin, makakuha tayo ng net income, okay, na purely, okay, may cash na involved. Eh, nadagdag yung mga income na yon pero wala namang pera. Tama? Under accrual basis. So, ang gagawin natin, bawasan natin. Okay? I-deduct natin yun. Okay? From the net income. Okay? Para ang lalabas lang later on, net income talaga pertaining doon sa may cash involvement. Okay? I hope klaro yun. Next, adjust operating current assets and operating current liabilities. Any increase in operating current assets is deducted while any decrease is added. Any increase in operating current liabilities is added while any decrease is deducted. So kung mapapansin mo 'no, 'pag current assets tumaas, kabaliktaran ng approach, deduct. 'Pag bumaba, okey, yung current asset dagdag, yun ang impact niya. Pero 'pag liabilities, 'pag tumaas ang current liabilities, ang impact niya dagdag, okey? Pero kapag bumaba yun, okey, ang impact niya bawas, okey? So parang parang ano lang 'no, direct to the point proportion, tama? So para madaling tandaan, tandaan mo 'pag current asset, invert. Current asset, invert, tama? Asset, invert. Okey, 'di ba 'pag invert reciprocal, okey? Turn it upside down. Okey, so baliktad. So sa current asset, asset, invert. Okey? So kung tumaas 'yon, ang impact nun bawas. 'Pag bumaba 'yon, ang impact nun tataasan. Okey? 'Pag current liabilities, as is. Okey? So kung tumaas yung current liabilities, taas din yung impact. 'Pag bumaba yung current liabilities, bababa din yung impact. Okey? So kung paano 'yan, apply na natin. So dito sa illustration 1, okey, binigyan ka ng mga items. Ang requirement dito, identify kung ano yung mga operating, investing, tsaka financing activities. And at the same time, siyempre yung mga items na iba diyan, pampagulo. So you have to identify whether those items are really part of statement of cash flows. Okay? So anyway, so for example, etong mga 'to, dividends received, dividends paid, 'di ba? So on and so forth. Okay. Pakita na agad natin yung solution para mabilis. So ito yung solution. Yan. So for operating activities, ito yung mga kasama class. So ang dividends received, tama ba? Kasama yan. Okay, kasama yan. Operating yan. Ito. Okay, kaya meron siya dito. Under operating. Pero if you remember, alternatively, pwede yung maging investing. Tama ba? Anyway, so operating yan normally. Next, dividends paid. Okay? Take note, dividends paid or payment is under financing. Okay? Under financing yan. Pero, payment, outflow yan. Bawas yan. Ito yon. Yan. Itong 1 million. Tama ba? Financing. Next, cash received from credit customers, obviously, operating yan. 9 million. Okay? Advance collection for services yet to be performed. Collection yan, cash receipts yan, under operating yan. Kaya ito yan, 150,000. Okay? Next, proceeds from issuing share capital. Okay? So meron ka na-receive na pera from issuing share capital. Okay? Financing yan kasi connected yan sa equity, di ba? Financing yan. So nasa yun? Ito. Okay, inflow. So positive. Okay? 1,500,000. Next, interest received. Okay, interest received, operation yan. Okay, operating yan. So, dito yan. Yan, 200,000. Pero take note, if you remember, pag interest receipt, it can be alternatively treated as investing. Cash paid in acquisition of machinery. Okay, pag mga investment other than trading securities and long-term assets. Okay, disposal man yan or acquisition nun. Basta may involved na pera, under yun ng investing. Okay, since PP ito, di ba? Plus may cash payment, okay? So investing tong 3 million. Okay, for acquisition of machinery. Pero, nasan yun? Yan. Pero bawas. Kasi nga, cash payment acquisition yan Tama? Next, proceeds from sale of long-term investment. Okay, so investing ulit to. 2 million, pero inflow. Okay, ito yan. Okay? Next, cash paid to supplier and employees. Okay, 6 million. Obviously, operating yan. Ito yon. Kaya bawas. Okay? And then also, cash payment for other operating expenses. Operating yan, obviously, kaya bawas yan. Okay, ito. And then also, ito, sumunod na. Recognition of depreciation. Di ba? Pag nag-recognize ka ng depreciation, debit depreciation expense, credit accumulated depreciation. So, walang involved na cash. Kasi non-cash transaction to eh. Tama? So, hindi mo yan makikita alinman doon sa activities na nabanggit ko. Okay? Pero yung mismong depreciation, di ba? Ito kasi, ang pinoint out niya dito, yung transaction na magre-recognize ka ng depreciation. Tama? So, hindi talaga cash transaction yon. Pero kapag tinanong ka, if depreciation can be presented in the statement of cash flow, pwede naman. Kaya lang, ang method na ginagamit doon, indirect method. Ito yung mag-add back ka, di ba? Tama? Ng mga non-cash expense. Doon mo siya makikita. Pero transaction-based, hindi yan cash transaction. Okay? Interest paid on long-term debt. So, interest payment, operating yan. Okay, ito. Outflow, 400,000. Tama ba? Pero alternatively, pwede siyang maging financing. Okay, pwede maging financing yan. Recognition of bad debts. Okay, so obviously, non-cash yan. So, wala yan dun sa tatlong activities. Income tax payment. Operating yan. 300,000 bawas. Ito. Okay? Next, purchase of equipment on account. Okay? So, non-cash transaction yan. Wala namang perang nilabas eh. Land receive in exchange of issuance of shares. Okay? May na-receive na land, pero ang kapalit, nag-issue ng shares, walang perang involved. So, non-cash transaction yan. Gain on sale of long-term investment. Okay? Obviously, gain on sale of long-term investment, non-cash income yan. Di ba? Tama? So, hindi mo makikita yan sa activities. Ano mga activities? Unless otherwise, indirect method ang pine-present mo. I-deduct mo yan. Tama po ba? Under operating activities. Pero obviously, hindi ka naman pinapagawa or hindi ka binibigyan ng hint ng problem na indirect method ang ipapakita mong operating activities. Kasi wala ngang net income na binigay dito eh. Tama ba? So, direct method ang tinatanong sa'yo dito or ang pinapaintindi niya sa'yo dito. Okay, so DEDMA yan, yung gain on sale of long-term investments. Okay? So, for operating activities, meron tayong 2,450,000. Okay, positive. Tawag natin doon, net inflow. Or kung tawagin din, net cash provided. Okay, so tatandaan mo yun ha. Net inflow is also net cash provided. Kasi nga, may perang na-provide yung operating activities, which is inflow. Tama? Next, investing activities. Okay, we have negative 1 million. So, net outflow. So, kung net outflow yan, okay, other term yan, net cash use. Okay, so kung mapapansin mo, may open and close parenthesis dito, use. Okay, kasi nga, mas lamang yung gamit under investing activities. So, sa financing naman, meron tayong positive 500,000. Okay, tama ba? Positive, so net cash provided. Okay, 500,000. So, i-plus mo lang yan. Yung tatlong activity na yun, 2,450,000 minus 1 million under investing activities plus 500,000 under financing activities. Meron kang net increase in cash na 1,950,000 plus the beginning cash, no? Doon sa problem, magkano yun? 1,800. Ito. Tama? 1,800,000. Okay? So, plus mo lang yon. So, meron kang cash balance, ending balance, 3,750,000. Okay? So, I hope nasundan yan. Illustration 2, ito naman, indirect method. Okay? Take note, ulitin ni sir, indirect method pertaining only sa operating. So, direct or indirect method, under investing tsaka financing, parehas na parehas lang. Okay? Operating lang ang pinagkaiba. So, obviously, indirect method to. Kasi binigyan ka ng problem ng net income, tapos binigyan ka ng increase and decrease, tama? Ng mga current assets or current liabilities, basta mga asset or liability items. Tama? So, malamang indirect method ang gusto niyang ipagamit sa'yo. Okay? When it comes to solving. Now, paano natin makocompute yung mga operating activities, investing activities, saka financing activities under this problem? So, pakita na natin yung solution. But if you want to answer it, you may stop the video, di ba? Then, sagutan mo. Okay? So, anyway. So, illustration 2 tayo. So, ito yung indirect method. So, first, magsisimula tayo sa net income, 200,000 given. Tapos, add back, okay, lahat ng non-cash expense. Deduct lahat ng non-cash income. Okay, sa problem, may nabanggit ba direct to the point na depreciation? Wala. Okay? Tama? Wala kang makikita diyang direct to the point na ito yung depreciation. So, may gagawin ka pang procedure to get that. Okay? Next. Ito, sa additional information, if you will notice, may binenta daw na equipment. Ang cost ng equipment na yon 80,000. Tapos may respective accumulated depreciation niyan na 40,000. Tama? So in effect, ang carrying amount niya 40,000. Tapos nabenta ng 50,000. Nabenta siya ng 50,000. So ano implication nun? So pakita natin yung solution dito. Yan. Kung mapapansin mo dito, class, okay, meron na kasi tayong in-add back dito na 25,000 eh. Galing yan dito sa solution format na to, no? Okay, paano nangyari yan, sir? Paano naging ganyan? Di ba sa given, if you will notice, decrease in accumulated depreciation, 15,000. Decrease in accumulated depreciation. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? So, ang accumulated depreciation, may dating 15,000 na balance, assuming, okay, nag-zero out nung ending. Kasi hindi naman natin alam exactly ano yung beginning balance niya tsaka ending. Pero ang alam natin, ang difference, no, ang decrease is 15,000 for the year. Tama? So, kung sisimplahan mo yung problem, para palabasin na 15,000 decrease yan, gawin mo na lang 15,000 yung beginning at gawin mong 0 yung ending para decrease 15,000. Tama? In accumulated depreciation. Okay? Next. Ano pa ang makakaapekto? 'Di ba ang accumulated depreciation pinapataas ng depreciation? Tapos, ang accumulated depreciation, binabawasan mo yan kung sakaling portion of the PPEs, okay, or portion of the cost of that specific PPE is nabenta or na-dispose. Okay? So, kung papansin mo dito, di ba, sa problem kanina, may nabenta na equipment at kakibat nung cost na 80,000 ng equipment na yan, may kasamang accumulated depreciation na 40,000. Okay? Tama? So, yun yung nawala sa accumulated depreciation. So, yun yung ilalagay mo dito sa debit. Okay? Kasi pag debit side yung accumulated depreciation, ibig sabihin nun, binabawasan mo. Which is tama naman kasi nga, nabenta yung portion of equipment eh. Tama? So, pati yung accumulated depreciation ng portion na nabentang equipment, dapat dala-dala niya. Okay? So, bawas yan dito. Okay? Now, kaya natin nakuha yung depreciation, squeeze method yan kung tawagin. So, pakita natin yung solution. Yan. Di ba from ending, di ba? Kaya naging 0 yan kasi nadagdagan ng beginning. Nadagdagan ng depreciation. Okay? Tapos, nabawasan ng disposal pagdating sa accumulated depreciation. Pabaliktad tayo. So, dito tayo magsisimula sa ending. So, ang beginning, normally, dinadagdagan niya, di ba, to get the ending. Pero since squeeze method tayo, instead na dagdag yung beginning, minus. Okay, ito yun. Tapos yung bawas sa accumulated depreciation, since squeeze method tayo, instead na bawas, ayan, dagdag. Okay, then makukuha mo na yung depreciation. Tama? Now, kung titignan mo, class, 15 plus 25,000 na depreciation, you will have 40,000. Tama? Di ba may nabenta nga? Okay, so may na-dispose na portion na accumulated depreciation na 40,000 per given. So, 40 kanina, yung combination ng dalawa, tapos nabawasan ng 40, tama, walang ending na natira. Okay? Klaro yun? So, tama yung sinabi na decrease in accumulated depreciation, 15,000. Kasi from the beginning, 15,000, then ang ending, 0. Pero, because of that, and with other information, nalaman natin na ang depreciation ay 25,000. At yung 25,000 na yun, Under indirect method, i-add back natin. Okay? I hope klaro yun. Next, ayan, may ibabawas ka, yung non-cash income. May non-cash income ba, sir? Meron. Di ba nagbenta ng equipment? Ayan. Magkano siya nabenta as proceeds? 50,000. Ito yon. Magkano yung carrying amount ng equipment na nabenta? 80,000 yung cost. Minus yung connected accumulated depreciation of 40,000. So, 80 minus 40,000. Ang carrying amount ay 40,000. Okay? So, 50 na proceeds minus 40, meron kang gain na 10,000. Okay? Take note, itong gain na to, wala namang perang involved dyan. That's why, binawas siya. Okay? Kasi ang gusto nating palabasin sa baba, net income na cash basis. Ito, dapat net income niya na cash basis. Ito kasi, net income na accrual. So, nadagdag dito yung gain on sale. Tama? Gusto natin, dapat yung net income sa bottom line is net income na purely cash ang involved. Okay? Dati nadagdag dito, tatanggalin natin. Okay? Kasi nga gusto natin net income dito, cash talaga. Okay? So, bawas. Okay? Next, after nun, anong gagawin mo? Yung changes in current asset and current liabilities. Okay? Yung impact nila. Tama ba? If you remember, current asset, invert. Asset, invert. Tama? So, reciprocal pag current asset. Okay? Pag current liabilities, as is. Okay? Tama? So, balikan lang natin yung problem. So, accounts receivable, di ba? Current asset yan. Decrease. Current asset, decrease. So, current asset, invert, decrease yan. So, ang impact, plus. Kaya may plus ka dito. Anyway, class, merong merong logic yan kung bakit plus, no? Pero hindi ko na muna i-explain kasi medyo mahaba-habang explanation yan. Basta tatandaan mo lang, pag current asset, invert. Babalik na rin. Pag current liabilities, as is. Okay? So, as is, wala kang papalitan. Okay? Next, etong increase in prepaid expense, current asset yan, increase. So, baliktad. Okay? Current asset, invert. So, kung increase yan, yung 8,000 na yan, ang implication yan, bawas. Next, decrease in accounts payable, 12,000. Current liabilities to, decrease, di ba? Current liabilities, as is yan. So, kung nag-decrease by 12,000, ang implication yan, decrease din, 12,000. Okay? So, meron kang net cash provided under operating activities, 225,000. Okay po? I hope klaro yan, ha? Next. So, wala na tayong current asset or current liabilities, no? Wala naman na natira. Okay? So, doon na tayo sa investing. Sa investing, tatandaan mo, malamang connected sa PPE, intangible asset, saka mga investment other than trading securities. Okay? So, meron tayong proceeds, di ba? From sale of equipment. So, cash receipts yan under investing. Okay? 50,000. Tama ba? Given. Ito yon. Okay? Then also, ayan, may inacquire pala tayo during the year na equipment. Paano mo nasabing meron, sir? Ito. Okay? Yung property and equipment account natin, based on the problem, ito. Tumaas siya, yan, increase in property and equipment ng 70,000. So, para simplihan natin, yung beginning balance ng property equipment, 0. Tapos ang ending, 70. Okay? Para lang masabi nating nag-increase siya ng 70. Hindi kasi natin alam yung exact beginning balance ng PPE tsaka ending balance eh. So, to simplify and to make it appear as increase in PPE in the amount of 70,000, so gawin mong 0 yung beginning, gawin mong 70,000 yung ending. Okay? Tama ba? So, next. Ano nangyari? Diba, if you remember sa PPE, may nabenta tayo na equipment. Ang cost niya 80,000. So, ito kasing T-account na to pertaining sa cost ng mismong PPE. Okay? So, damay dito yung equipment. Okay? So, yung cost ng equipment na 80,000, tatanggalin mo yon. Kaya meron ka ditong credit. Okay? Tama po ba? Now, kung meron niyang credit, tama, malamang may nangyaring purchase during the year for property and equipment. Okay? Para lang mag-appear na ang ending balance niya 70. So, squeeze method ulit to, class. Di ba? So, meron kang ending balance na 70. Okay? Yung sale ng equipment na 80,000, di ba? Normally, to get the ending balance, bawas yun eh. Squeeze method tayo. Kaya, plus yan. Okay, ito. Ito yung plinas dyan eh. Okay, yung 0, itong cell number 0102, yan yung 80,000. Plinas yan. Okay? Kasi normally bawas siya eh. Pabaliktad tayo, kaya plinas. Okay? Minus yung beginning balance. Okay? Wala ka naman ma-minus kasi nga 0 yung beginning balance natin as assume. 'Di ba? So lalabas ang purchase in cash mo for property and equipment 150,000. Tama? So kung ino-normalize mo yung flow, beginning plus additional purchase ng property and equipment 150, so 150 ang total as of now. Bawasan ang cost ng equipment na nabenta, so tama, ang natitirang property and equipment 70. Okay? Tama ba? Sir, question. Sinabi kasi dito sa additional information, meron talagang pinurchase na equipment. Okay? Pero wala namang sinabing exact amount. That's the point. Okay? Kaya nga tayo nagganito ng approach eh. Kumbaga, nag-squeeze method tayo para malaman natin kung magkano exact amount. Okay? And based dun sa computation natin, that is 150,000 as purchase of equipment in cash. Okay? Actually, class, kahit walang sabihin dito, no? An equipment was purchased for cash during the year. Okay? Lalabas na meron talaga eh. Kasi nga, hindi ka magbabalanse doon sa formula na 0 yung beginning, tas ang ending 70. Di ba? 0 ang beginning, tas ang ending 70,000. Okay? Tama? Kung wala, tapos meron kang information na 80,000 as bawas. Okay? So kung babawasan mo yung property and equipment ng 80,000, tas ang beginning niya 0, tama? Negative 80 yon. Paano mo palalabas yung ending balance niya? Positive 70. So dapat may purchase na nangyari during the year na mas mataas sa 80,000, di ba? Para pag klinas mo yon sa negative 80,000, magiging positive 70,000 sa ending. Which is ito nga, 150,000. Okay? So kahit hindi klaruhin to eh. Okay? Based dito sa formula natin, talagang malamang may 150,000 na purchase during the year. At kung wala namang sinabi kung ano ang nangyaring transaction diyan for that purchase, no? Cash ba yan or utang? Wala namang sinabi kasi nga yun nga ang assumption natin as if walang additional information. Still, the assumption would be purchase yan in cash. Okay? Pag walang additional information, okay? Lalo na yung item naman is pwede talagang may cash na involved. Okay? We treat it as cash. Okay? Cash transaction. Okay? So, yan. 15 na proceeds from sale, minus yung acquisition ng equipment na 150,000 in cash. So, meron tayong net cash use, kasi negative to, in investing activities, 100,000. Okay? Next, financing activities. So, nagamit na natin to, no? Ito, nagamit na rin. Ito na. Decrease in long-term debt. Di ba yung mga long-term debt or long-term borrowing? Financing yan, di ba? Tama? So, kung nag-decrease yon, ibig sabihin, nabawasan siya, malamang may payment. Di ba? Kung nag-decrease yung long-term debt mo, malamang binayaran mo yon. Under financing yan. Kaya dito sa solution natin, cash paid for long-term debt, bawas 100,000. Okay? And also, additional cash received from issued shares, no? So, may in-issue na shares, kapalit cash na receive ng company. So, financing pa rin yon, pero inflow. Kaya meron ka ditong positive 18. So, net cash use, okay, use kasi nga negative to eh. 82,000 from financing activities. Okay? So kung may follow-up question, magkano yung net increase or decrease during the year in cash? So pagsamahin mo lang 'tong tatlo. So lalabas 43,000 ito. Okay, yan, oh. Yung maliit na yan, 43,000. Okay? Net increase in cash. Okay, pag tinanong ka magkanong ending balance ng cash, so dapat merong binigay ditong beginning. Okay, dapat may binigay ditong beginning balance. Or kaya klaruhin man ng problem na tawag nito, zero yung cash, 'di ba? Cash beginning. Okay? Kung hindi man, dapat klaro kung magkano yung beginning cash para makuha natin yung ending balance ng cash. Okay?